Greetings, my Moorish kin, Islam, peace and blessings to everyone out there. You know, when I first started this demonstration, learning myself and learning my Moorish heritage, I was very excited about bringing this message and putting the truth out there to my people and our people. And I would, get to speak in this thing very sincerely and very passionately. But I didn't get to see a lot of change in our people. And so I would ask the Prophet Noble Ali, like, what's the why? You know what I mean? Why not? Why are they not getting the message? What can I do? You know, to better the message, and not better the message, but better my obviously delivery of the message, because they wasn't getting what I was saying. And he said, you got to speak with power, clarity, and authority. And I said, well, how, Prophet? How do you speak with power, clarity, and authority? And so, he hooked me up, gave me what I asked for. Hooked me up with the Toastmasters, Blue Nile, out of Memphis, Tennessee, and there I learned to start to articulate the message of Prophet Noble Ali, this gospel, this holy and divine message, these instructions to our people. And from there, I was able to, as you see, grow into where we at now. But check this out. Check out some of my humble beginnings. This is my second Toastmaster speech and learning how to communicate the message. And to me, it's very inspiring just to see where I came from, where I'm at now, and how, looking back, I was being prepared for what I'm to do now. So check it out. Be you.
Be you. Welcome to the lady. No matter about. Now, if you know you're going to be the next speaker, you should always be standing at the side, as you see me do every time I know I'm up next, and I'm standing waiting. So it eliminates time waste if you have a time meeting.
Greetings, everyone.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
You guys look nice, look beautiful. Everybody smiles, looks good.
You being time.
I know I'm being time. It's all right. It's all right. Of course, I'm Obasi, and my speech today is going to be over how to say it. Question first. Have anyone ever heard the saying or the quotes? Have you ever seen or heard about the roads that grow from the concrete? Yeah. Show of hands. Anybody? Anybody's ever heard that? Okay. All right. Well, that's a quote from Tupac Shakur, the late Tupac Shakur, rest his soul, and it had come from a poem that he wrote in a book of poetry. And what I'm going to do today is what I have done is transliterate what he said into my own words, and I want to express that to you. The purpose of my speech is always to inspire. That's why I'm here in Toastmasters, is to learn how to articulate these words in order to inspire, because I think that's what we need in our lives, is some inspiration as people. Get my words again. I don't want to say those filler words. Okay. The quote, have you ever heard the roads, have you ever seen the roads that grew from concrete, is important in this speech, because I'm going to use this in my titles of the speech, and being you, and showing importance, why it's important just to be yourself. Now, first let me kind of give you the environment that's set up for the scenario of the roads that grew from the concrete. Can you imagine being placed in a harsh, hard, and hectic environment or concrete jungle? I'm sure most of us here can visualize being set in a circumstance where our growth is not, we're not put in the best place to promote our growth, just as the roads that grew from the concrete. Okay, let me stop reading this and just go with my thoughts here.
All right.
So, the purpose, if you imagine being in that place, you can imagine the seed, or I can imagine the seed saying to itself, you know, man, I'm in concrete, why even bother? Why bother trying to grow? Why bother, you know, when there's seems to be no nourishment around me? Why bother trying to grow when obviously I'm in concrete, you know, this is a city setting where they manicure everything. Why grow when they're going to cut me down? Why grow, or why try to grow when it seems that everything is put against me, and I've been set in a place where I cannot do what I was made to do? Well, obviously, to get to the rose part, there had to be some growth there. So let me take you to this part. As we start, and we start in the doubt of self, when we are placed in trials and tribulations, we always have to remember that we come, as a seed, we are perfect as a source from which we come. So all we have to do is be ourselves, and what's going to happen is going to happen. What happened with the seed is that it began to grow. Some water came, you know, somebody watered this lawn, and it rolled out to concrete, and it got some water. It began to take root, and since it was in an area that was not well kept up, nobody really noticed it, and so it continued to grow. Even though it had doubts of whether it would still be alive, whether it be cut down or whether it be took care of, it still continued to grow. And then one day, it grew so large that it flowered, it bloomed, it showed rose. And in that beauty, those who may have or would have cut it down now appreciate it. They appreciate and say, wow, you know, not only did the rose grow out of concrete, but this is a beautiful plant. Why would I want to cut it down? And so I hope to inspire you to life, knowing that even though it seems like, you know, we have been placed in very hard circumstances where it may seem like there's no nourishment, no support, and no way, as long as you be who you are, you're going to be who you are. And that's the most important thing. And when you be who you are, one day you will express that, and everyone will look and say, look at the rose that grew from the concrete. Look at this beautiful plant. Look at this beautiful being who persevered, who didn't give up when they could have, and just laid down and not even tried, and now they're successful. And here in Toastmasters, I would suggest, you know, that you take the same thought pattern, that even though it seems like when we begin to speak that there is, you know, no support, or when we have the idea that we want to speak, that we don't know where the support is at, or we don't know how we're going to do it, if you just do it, the natural speaker that's in you that wants to come out will come out, and it will shine, and all those things all those doubts that before you will become obsolete, and you will know that truly you are perfect, you was put in a perfect place, and that there are no mistakes, and that you can just be you, because that's all right. So with that, I conclude. Toastmasters.